Daca is a program that allows millions of people to obtain work permits who would otherwise not really be eligible for immediate immigration benefits. One of my subscribers asked me to make a video about crimes that could affect Daca status, so that's what today's video is going to be about. Immigration and crimes are not two subjects that mix well. Daca is a discretionary benefit, so you need to pay particular attention if you have criminal history when you're applying for Daca. So I want to break this down as simply as possible. There are certain offenses that are very unlikely to affect a Daca application or renewal. For example, traffic violations. On the other hand, there are certain crimes that are very likely or might mandatorily result in a denial of your Daca application, like felonies, significant misdemeanors, or many insignificant misdemeanors, and that's what we're going to talk about next. One thing I should mention before we move on, though, is that any crime can be used to discretionarily deny your Daca application. Okay, so what crimes are very likely to result in an automatic denial of your Daca application? The first thing is a felony, and that's generally defined as any offense which carries a maximum penalty of more than 1 year in prison. Right? So if you have a felony or anything that's that serious where you could have received more than 1 year of incarceration, you 100% need to speak with a lawyer before you renew your Daca application. The next category that USCIS advises us about are significant misdemeanors. So what's a significant misdemeanor? The clearest example that everyone knows about is a DUI. A DUI under New York state law is not a felony. Well, a lower level DUI is not necessarily a felony, but it could result in a denied USCIS Daca application. Other crimes that are considered significant in nature can include domestic violence, sexual abuse, unlawful possession of a firearm, or burglary. Any drug offenses are pretty much game over. So if you have any offenses which might possibly be categorized as one of these offenses, you need to speak with a lawyer. Oftentimes, where a crime doesn't necessarily fit into one of these categories or it's arguable, a lawyer's advocacy can actually make a big difference. USCIS can also deny your Daca application if you have 3 or more non-significant misdemeanors which did not arise out of the same event or scheme of misconduct, as USCIS puts it. What that means is they have to be separate events. They can't all be charges or convictions that resulted from like a single act or a single day of misconduct. Examples can be trespassing, public disturbances, violating an order of protection can qualify, although be careful because if the underlying conduct was domestic violence, that would possibly rise to the level of a significant misdemeanor. When you have criminal convictions, what you want to do is get a certificate of disposition from the court and then schedule a consultation with a lawyer to go through the certificates of disposition to see if you should be applying for Daca or if there are risks with your application. In fact, we will need to submit copies of these certificates of disposition with the Daca application, so be sure to get those in advance. If you've ever been convicted of any crimes, your takeaway from this video should be that you need to disclose those crimes to your immigration lawyer and get some advice before you renew your Daca application. If you want my help with this, just schedule a consultation and I'll go through everything from beginning to end with you and decide whether or not it's a smart idea to renew your Daca application. Alright guys, this video is actually the result of a commenter asking me to post on this topic. So if there are other topics or related videos on immigration law that you want to see me make, just put them in the comments below and I'll see you guys next week for an immigration video.